You know, if there's one thing our ancestors understood better than we do today, it's this. Soil doesn't need constant feeding, it needs protection and balance. Long before bagged fertilizers and synthetic boosters, gardeners relied on what was already around them. Leaves especially were never swept away as waste. They were gathered, layered, fermented, and returned to the soil as nourishment and armor. In today's gardens, we mulch, but often with straw, wood chips, or compost, while one powerful leaf quietly goes ignored. This season, I want to bring attention back to a leaf that ancient growers valued deeply, one that modern gardeners walk past without a second thought. If you're looking to build darker soil, steadier moisture, and healthier plants without expensive inputs, this is a leaf worth rediscovering. The leaf most gardeners overlook is neem. Neem leaves have been used for centuries across Africa and Asia, not as a treatment, but as a soil ally. Ancient farmers didn't just value neem for pest deterrence, they understood something more subtle. Neem leaves break down slowly, feed beneficial microbes, and create a living mulch layer that improves soil structure while quietly discouraging problems before they start. Neem leaves really are a game changer. They work beneath the surface, supporting the whole garden ecosystem, and honestly, that's something most of us could use a little more of in our gardens today. What makes neem special as mulch is, well, balance. Unlike soft green leaves that vanish in just a few days, or woody materials that, take years to break down, neem decomposes at a steady pace. It feeds the soil without shocking it. That slow breakdown is exactly what living soil thrives on. Neem leaves contain natural compounds that interact with soil biology rather than overpower it. When layered on the soil surface, they regulate moisture, suppress weed germination, and encourage fungal and bacterial life beneath the mulch line. This creates a buffered environment where roots experience fewer temperature swings and, honestly, a lot less stress. Another overlooked benefit is how neem supports nutrient cycling. Instead of dumping nitrogen all at once, neem releases nutrients gradually, which means less leaching and, more consistent plant growth. This is one of the reasons ancient growers favored leaves over manures for long-term soil health. If you want neem mulch to work with your soil instead of against it, harvesting really matters. Always collect healthy green leaves and, it's best to do this in the morning after the dew has dried. Avoid yellowing or diseased leaves, and never gather from trees that have been sprayed with chemicals. Fresh leaves work best for mulching, but, honestly, they should never be applied thickly all at once. Neem is powerful, and moderation is key. If you're working with dry leaves, just crumble them slightly before use to help them settle into the soil surface, rather than forming a mat. You don't need to shred neem leaves finely. In fact, rough tearing is ideal. This slows decomposition just enough to provide lasting coverage while still feeding the soil. For garden beds, a layer about 2 to 3 centimeters thick is enough. Anything more can restrict airflow and delay breakdown. Alright, so, before you put down your neem mulch, it's a good idea to water the soil lightly. This gets microbial activity started right away, right underneath those leaves. Neem really does its best work when it becomes part of the soil ecosystem, not just when it's left sitting dry and disconnected on top. When you're applying neem mulch, make sure to spread it around your plants, but don't press it right up against the stems. Leave a small gap around the base to avoid moisture building up where the stems meet the soil. And after you've got it in place, go ahead and water gently. This helps the leaves settle in nicely. Over time, you'll start to notice that the soil under your neem mulch stays cooler during those hot days and warmer during chilly nights. You might even see more earthworms showing up, and the soil will take on a darker, crumbly texture. These are all signs that the mulch is really working, not just protecting the surface but actually feeding life below. Ancient growers didn't stop at mulching. They actually fermented leaves to extract their growth-supporting compounds. Neem FPJ is, honestly, one of the most misunderstood preparations out there, and it's often used incorrectly or way too strong. But when it's done right, it turns into a gentle soil tonic instead of a harsh input. So, to prepare neem FPJ, you want to use fresh young leaves. First, weigh the leaves. For every 1 kilogram of chopped neem leaves, use exactly 1 kilogram of brown sugar or jaggery. This 1-to-1 ratio by weight is absolutely critical. The sugar, well, it draws out moisture and feeds the microbes responsible for fermentation. Mix the leaves and sugar thoroughly until the leaves start to release liquid. Place the mixture loosely into a container, leaving at least 20% headspace. Cover with a breathable cloth and keep it in a warm, shaded place. Be sure to stir once daily for the first 3 days. Fermentation usually completes in about 7 to 10 days. Once it's ready, strain the liquid and store it in an airtight bottle, away from direct sunlight. And remember, properly made FPJ smells sweet and just a little bit sour, never rotten. Neem FPJ is really concentrated. Applying it straight, well, that's actually one of the biggest mistakes gardeners make. The correct dilution is 1 to 500, meaning 2 milliliters of FPJ per liter of water. For a small container garden of about 10 pots, you'll want to mix 20 milliliters of FPJ into 10 liters of water. If you're working with a raised bed around 10 square meters, 40 milliliters in 20 liters is sufficient. And for those larger backyard gardens of about 50 square meters, you only need 100 milliliters diluted into 50 liters of water. Apply neem FPJ as a soil drench, not a foliar spray. First, water the soil lightly beforehand, then go ahead and apply the diluted solution right around the root zone. Early morning or late afternoon is ideal, just so you know. During active growth, apply once every 7 to 10 days. You'll want to reduce the frequency during flowering and then stop applications 1 to 2 weeks before harvest. Neem doesn't create explosive growth, and honestly, that's a good thing. Instead, what you'll notice is that plants develop deeper green leaves, stronger stems, and steadier growth over time. Pest pressure often decreases, not because neem kills everything, but because healthier plants simply attract fewer problems. Soil structure improves noticeably. After a few weeks, the soil under neem mulch becomes softer and more alive. This is the kind of improvement that doesn't fade after one season. It compounds. Using too much neem is the fastest way to undo its benefits. Thick mulch layers, overly concentrated FPJ, or applying during extreme heat can stress plants. Neem works through balance, not force. Another mistake is expecting instant results. Ancient methods reward patience. Neem builds resilience, not shortcuts. Modern gardening often chases quick fixes, but soil remembers how it's treated. Neem leaves remind us that what protects the soil ultimately feeds the plant. When we mulch wisely and ferment carefully, we're not just growing crops, we're restoring a system that sustains itself. This is the kind of gardening that lasts, season after season. If this guide helped you see mulch differently, share it with another gardener who's ready to move beyond quick fixes. And if you want more grounded, tested soil wisdom like this, subscribe to Soil Sage Chronicles and grow with us, rooted in ancient knowledge, guided by living soil.